Okay, welcome back to the fourth session. So, we are still talking about signs and symptoms of deception or guilt. So, we have here physiological and psychological symptoms. Um, Although, if we combine that, we call it psychophysiological if we are talking about polygraph tests. Okay, but generally, we will call it physiological because it can be manifested in our physical body, and then psychological because it originates from our mind. It is because of the reaction of our mind giving signals to the physiological body, like the sympathetic, to do something to defend the body. So something like that. And what are these physiological and psychological symptoms of guilt? Meaning, even if we don't have the machine, or we will not be using the methods of detecting deception, I mean, not necessarily we will be using some kind of technique, we can still determine if someone is lying or not. So we call that one as simply by observation. So observe the person, and you might be able to know if he is truthful or untruthful to you. So what are these signs? Let's see. So number one, that is common, you know, common to everyone is sweating. So it says here sweating accompanied with a flushed face. Or if a person is sweating, there will be blushing of face, indicating an anger, embarrassment, or extreme nervousness. Sweating is an example of response. It's a delayed reaction. So if you ask a person like, are you the one who killed the victim? It is not automatically, uh, meaning it's not instantly that you will see him sweating. But uh, informing him though that you will ask those questions ahead can make it possibly instant that the subject will sweat. But it's not instant. It will take a little longer time, just a couple of seconds before sweat will come out. Because if you ask a question, it doesn't mean reaction first, like, and then later on the sweat will come out. And the logic behind that, why people sweat, when you are sweating because of let's say because of extreme nervousness, since let's say you are lying, so what will happen is your body will release a lot of glands, and then your body becomes hot, right? Your body becomes hot, and if you will not cool down your body, you might collapse. So these glands of the body, particularly sweat glands, will be forced to release liquid in order to cool down the body. So sweat is actually designed for you to survive, to cool you down. Otherwise, you will suffer heat stroke. So when you are sweating, do not wipe it, because the more you wipe it, the more sweat comes out, and you might be dehydrated. So they say that when you are sweating, you wipe it immediately. That's old folks belief, but no. The reason why sweat comes out is because your body needed liquid to cool itself. So you will notice that when you wipe it, another sweat will comes out. So but that's natural thing that will happen in our body. So if you're sweating, just let it flow, and you will notice that you will survive the heat. Or if not, if you want to wipe it, then you must drink water again. And then another signs is color change, of course, face flush or blushing of face, and pale face is also more common sign of guilt. Dryness of the mouth, this is also another effect also of sweating. So if you are sweating because you are lying, then you will run out of liquid in your body, and so the mouth will become dry because all the energy, remember, there will be inhibition of activity of saliva. Your body will stop producing saliva, so that the body will focus on fight or flight situation, so the mouth will be dry. And of course, another thing is there will be excessive activity of Adam's apple on account of dryness of the throat. So there will be like a domino effect of what will happen to our body since you lack liquid already, because the secretion of saliva is inhibited. Then you keep on swallowing to wet your throat. So there will be excessive activity of Adam's apple for male. Then another one is fidgeting. Subject is constantly moving about in the chair, like what I am doing, something like this doing, or if not, fidgeting is like doing like this, doing like this to his hand, or fidgeting is something like this. That's why you see people are scratching. That is actually a result of fidgeting. So that is also common signs that the subject is actually lying. Then another one is peculiar feeling inside. So peculiar meaning a very unusual feeling inside. There is a sensation of lightness of the head, and the subject is confused. This is the result of his troubled conscience. So if the person is really guilty, like he is the one who committed the offense, what will happen is, there will be like lightness, and it results to confusion. So that's why scratching also happens. And when you ask questions, sometimes he forgot already the answer. So it's like really a domino effect. And then another sign is when the subject is swearing to the truthfulness of his assertion, like, I swear to God, I'm telling the truth, I hope my mother drops dead, or I swear to God, etc. Or I hope even if all my neighbors will die, I didn't do it, so something like that. Or even if I'm gonna die today, I promise you I did not do it. So if you heard people's doing that, there is a more probability that they are actually telling a lie. And so if I will reflect on the truthfulness of this phenomena, it seems it's true, because I stole money of my parents too, and then when I was confronted, I even told them, even if I will die, I will tell you I did not do that. So I did it, and it seems true. Of course, not all, but there is also truth in this. If the person, especially if they are so persistent of saying, promise, I never do that, even if I'm gonna die right now, because they know that they will not actually die. So you will notice that those who are very, very persistent of swearing to the truthfulness of the assertion is more likely guilty. And another sign is spotless past record, something like, I've been attending church every Sunday, so how could I lie? My dad is a pastor, my dad is a minister, my dad is a preacher, so how could I do that? I'm a religious man, how could I do that? So something like that. So trying to show that he has a clean record is actually a sign of deception already. So as for example, I never lied in my life, or my parents told me or taught me to be honest, so I have been honest the rest of my life, or something like that kind of claim, is already a sign of deception. What else? So this is common also. This is one of the powerful basis in making a conclusion if this person is lying or not. Inability to look at the investigators straight in the eye. So failure to look at the inquirer's eye. So what will happen here is, if the person is guilty, something is playing around in the mind, and because of that, they cannot look at you anymore in the eye straightly. So the mind, the eyes is always moving around, and it's hard to look at you, especially if they are guilty. And you know, only very few people are expert in lying. Not too many are actually experts with that. So for common criminals, we can apply this. When I say common, those criminals that were not actually trained to lie, this can work. Those who are courting, you can actually apply this. Look at them in the eyes and tell them to say I love you to you, and if they are not real, they can't look at you in the eyes, especially if you do that in a little longer time. So this is effective, and many are using this even though they know that they know this idea, but on the moment that they will be asked and be confronted as to what they have done, they will also forget this one. So this is very effective. If you're talking to someone and they can't look at you straight in the eye for a long period of time, that's already a sign that they might be lying at you. So you can apply this. And another one which is common also, not that I remember expression, even in the classroom, this is also happening when you ask a person with a question and then they would say I can't remember, and that's actually a sign of deception already, because it's very easy to say I cannot remember as an alibi. Okay, so the next topic that we'll be talking about is lie. So we know already some of the tools that we can use and how to detect if somebody is lying or not. We learned already the signs, if they're also truthful or not. Now, what is lie? I will not make it so complicated already to you. You can see that on your screen. Okay, but when we say lie, it's simply not telling the truth. I have already presented that earlier. And lies are classified with so many classifications. This is also important because we have to name different kinds of lies for purposes of specifically analyzing what kind of lie is being committed by criminals or by common people, so that whenever we make report, at least we know what kind of lie we are going to write in our report. We don't just tell them lie, because there are different kinds of lies. So we have here types of liars. So we'll talk about first type of liars. Sorry for that. Type of liars, which is also similar to kind of lies, because if we say panic liar, then we are referring to person and what kind of lie they have committed in panic lie. Okay, so type of liars, we have panic liar. So the basis here is they're not actually liar, but I mean they are not lying professionally, but they only lie because they're afraid to tell the truth, or they're afraid with the consequence of telling the truth. So for example, like what I have done, I have stolen money of my parents, and I told them that I never did that because my father was holding a huge firewood, and I know that he's gonna hit me with that firewood if I will tell him that I was the one who stole his money. So I lied. I told him, no, I did not do that. Even if I die, I promise you I did not do that. So I'm afraid of telling the truth, so I would rather lie. And many of people are like that. If they would tell to people that yeah, they have something that they have been hiding for a long time, and they will detect that they are such kind of person, so they would rather lie. The next one is tournament liar. So we have here from the word tournament liar. So the liar here will meaning the liar here is considering lying as a game. That's why it's called tournament, because the person here loves actually to lie, and if he was able to deceive someone or to lie to someone, it makes him happy. In other words, it is his happiness to lie. It's like a game for him, that when somebody believes his story or believes him although it's not true, then he considers himself as champion in a game. So this is a kind of liar that is ludicrous. Another kind or type is occupational liar. So as the word suggests, based on occupation, meaning it's related to their job, so they have to lie. Who are they? Of course, so many. When you are an investigator and you are dealing with a criminal, in order for you to get or extract from him information, you need to lie. And if you lied, it doesn't mean that you are a bad as liar. It means only that you are doing your job. Who else? The lawyers are known to be liars. Of course, not all, but most of them are liars because they have to lie in order for the case to win in the court. Politicians are also examples. They have to lie to people so that the people will not panic. For example, COVID-19. Let's say there are actually many cases, but some of them are hiding because it might create panic on the part of the people. So they would rather hide the truth, the data. So why they have to do that? Because it's part of their job, and we call them occupational liar. And another kind of liar or type of liar is are the people who have no conscience at all. So it's actually, there are some people like this who have no conscience, meaning they know that they are lying, but they are not bothered by their conscience. They are not it's like an expert liar. Even if they knew that people are suffering because of what they have done, their conscience is never bothered. And I don't know why there are such kind of people on the planet, but there are still many people who are like that. So polygraph test is really ineffective to them because there's nothing to record. Sympathetic nervous system do not work for this kind of people, because if you ask them, were you the one who killed the victim, and even if they did it, they are not bothered by it, so what? So they might not be able to be detected in their doings. And another is ethnological liar. So these people are the one who are trained to lie. So like intelligence people, they are trained to lie. Some members of gang are also trained to lie, and they are called ethnological liar. Pathological liar, example of these are children, insane, because they cannot distinguish right from wrong, so they don't know. So they are not also bothered by their conscience. So nothing is happening in their body, no physiological activity, because there's no psychological effect of what they are doing. So we call them pathological liar, including children 9 years and below, who are not bothered also by their conscience, because they don't know that when they lie, it's actually bad. They thought that by lying sometimes it's just simple as not telling the truth, and as if nothing to them. Then another one is black liar, a person who always pretends, meaning if you are pretending to be rich, yet you are not actually rich, pretending to be handsome although you are not, then you are a black liar. Pretending to be a policeman although not yet, then you are a black liar. And there are other kinds of lie also. We have the bald-faced lie. So it's a lie that is told when it is obvious to all concerned that it is a lie. Example, a child who has chocolate all over his face and denies that he has eaten the last piece of chocolate cake is bald-faced, kind of liar, because it's obvious that he is lying, yet he is still lying. So bald is like kalbo kind of face. Lying by omission is from the word omission, so meaning you remove a portion of truth, a whole circle, but you remove 1/4 of the truth, then we call it lying by omission. So for example, let's say they ask you if how many people are present. Let's say you notice that there are 5 people in the crime scene, but one of them is your friends, one of them is your friend, and so instead of saying 5, you told them I only saw 4, so you remove 1 and you omit. Still lying, because although you told them that there are people, but you did not inform the whole truth, so that is lying by omission. So lie to children is lie often a platitude that may use euphemism that is told to make an adult subject acceptable to children. A common example is the stork brought you. So lie to children, we do that many times, like a policeman will come here if you don't stop crying, so something like that. White lie, so to make it short, of course when we say white lie, these are lies that are not actually bad in itself, because it benefits both of you and other people. So if you want to protect someone from danger, and then you have to lie so that you will protect someone, and that is white lie. So they said it's not a dangerous kind of lie, although many people are saying that lie is always bad, but actually it's not always bad. It depends on the purpose of lying. If you are protecting someone or saving the life of someone, then it's not bad. So that is white lie, and as long as someone benefited from it, then it's called white lie, or an ordinary kind of lie is also called white lie. Noble lie. Noble lie is one that would normally cause discord if it were uncovered, but that offers some benefit to the liar and perhaps assists in an orderly society, and thus potentially gives some benefit to others. So noble lie is actually a kind of white lie, but noble lie is a kind of lie that helps people to stay in their good relationship, or they have benefited from not telling the truth. So that's why it's called noble, because it has helped maintain a relationship. It has helped maintain law and order, and it has helped maintain safety. And there are many examples of that. We have also emergency lie. Emergency lie is a strategic lie told when the truth may not be told because, for example, harm to a third party would come out or would come of it. So it's just like actually a noble lie. So example here, a neighbor might lie to an engaged husband about the whereabouts of his unfaithful wife because said husband might reasonably be expected to inflict physical injury to the husband. So that is what we call as emergency lie. So for example, a father is very angry to his child and he's carrying firewood like my dad. So if he asks where is his son and you lied about the whereabouts, that is already emergency lie. It's like noble lie also. Okay, so what is perjury? You learn this in your law subjects, right? So perjury is simply not telling the truth under oath in court. Okay, so it's a crime because the witness has sworn to tell the truth, and for the credibility of the court, witnesses' testimony must be relied on being truthful. So perjury is a kind of lie, but it's kind of different because you are under oath, meaning you have made a promise in court that you will tell the truth and nothing but the truth, yet you still lied. It is giving more weight on not telling the truth, even though if you are already protecting somebody in court, it would still be considered as perjury because of the oath that you have undergone. So that is perjury. Okay, bluffing, pretending to have capability or intention one doesn't. Bluffing, so bluffing is also kind of like, for example, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna kick you, something like that. And, you cannot actually do it, but you still keep on mentioning it. So just wanted to scare someone is also kind of lie. Lie of exaggeration occurs when the most fundamental aspect of a statement is true, but the degree to which it is true is not correct. So you're exaggerating. For example, you said that the suspect used bolo in the commission of crime, and you told the court that he hit the victim and the flesh are thrown away in the air while the bolo is hitting the victim. So something like that, although it's not actually true that the flesh are being thrown in the air. So it's true, generally true, that you saw that the victim was being hit by a bolo, but you tend to exaggerate by saying that flesh are already coming out from, or throwing or flying in the air. So something like that. So you exceeded with what is supposed to be. And there is what we call here as taxonomy of lies. So there is also lie in religious teaching. Yeah, there's so many lies about religious teaching, and many are deceived because of this. It's really sad. Some people are already claiming that they are God, and many believe them. I don't understand their logic, but that is kind of lie when you claim that you are already God, or you claim that your religion is true religion and the others are not. Those are taxonomy. Those are kind of religious lies that harm others and help no one. lies that harm others and help someone, so that could be possible. Lies told for the pleasure of lying, yeah, some people are like that. Lies told to please others in a smooth discourse, so many also people are doing this. Chismosa people, whenever they have no more things to say, and they are happy and pleased whenever somebody is listening to them while they are telling a story, even though it's not true. Lies that harm no one and that help someone. Lies that harm no one and that save someone's life, so possible. Lies that harm no one and that save someone's purity. So it's like paradox that lies that harm no one and save. So this is kind of good kind of lie, but there is a lie that harms others too, but save others too. So yeah, these are taxonomy of lies. And maybe some of you believe that lie is not also possible, but in Bible you see kind of lies also took place. Like for example, the Hebrew midwives. If you read your Bible, maybe you're not familiar with this, but the midwives lied to the king of Egypt when they were asked about if they were hiding babies or not, and many times they lied, because if they will tell the truth, they will kill all these babies. And Moses is one of those who are spared by liar midwives, and these midwives are blessed by God because they saved people. So Rahab, you know that when two spies went to Jericho, they were hidden by a prostitute, Rahab, and the authorities at the time in Jericho came to Rahab and asked if they saw um, spies, and Rahab lied, and uh, Joshua and Caleb were saved, and that is lying. They did not tell the truth, so they were honored. Rahab was actually respected, and if you trace your Bible, Rahab is a forefather of Jesus Christ. So how did that happen? Someone who lied will be the ancestor of our God. Of course, it's not direct of the grandfather of Joseph, and you know that Joseph was not actually the father of Jesus Christ by biologically, but that's the lineage of David from Rahab. So those are the paradox of lying. Delilah, also an example, he lied also. Abraham instructed his wife Sarah to lie. Yeah, so you see, Sarah also lied to the king of Egypt in order for them to be saved. So okay. So what I'm trying to point out here before I will end also this session, so for the next one, is that the lying, if you say lying is bad, you think of those examples that we have discussed. It depends on what is your purpose in lying. So we have, of course, we have effects or consequences of lying. If discovered, of course, you will probably be a hero, or maybe will be put to jail. If remain undiscovered, undiscovered lies at latent danger to the liar, who is probably aware that it may be discovered. So if you are hiding something, if you are lying or you are cheating someone, your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend, and that is a latent danger, meaning it's there, the danger is there, and once discovered, then you might also suffer. So of course the best thing to do is avoid lying. Although we keep on lying, even me, I'm lying still, but I am trying to minimize it. I'm trying to do my best, everything I can not to lie, and I think it's working. So because we know the consequence of lying. So for now, I will be closing in, signing out here for this fourth session, and then let's go to the fifth one.